The Washington State Patrol is trying to learn more about a problem that touches many Native American families.
They want to know if the state should do more to address a crisis of missing and murdered Native American women. King 5's Ted Land is here now to explain what that effort looks like exactly.
Well, some people are calling it an epidemic in Washington State. They want to know why Native American women go missing or are murdered at rates higher than the rest of the population. The Washington State Patrol has been traveling the state, meeting with tribes, asking for their stories, and they're learning there are some problems with how law enforcement tracks missing people. Earth Feather Sovereign is among a generation of younger Native American women trying to bring attention to a problem which haunts many Washington State tribes.
I would say everybody knows somebody who's been missing or been murdered.
Now the Washington State Patrol is looking into the issue, and Captain Monica Alexander is leading the effort.
I want to hear those stories. We want to hear that information, and then we want to see how can we direct, how can we help, what can we do, where do we start?
We want to make sure that you feel like you're going to be heard.
She's on a fact-finding mission, which has taken her to tribal lands across the state. In October, a crowd gathered at Snoqualmie Casino, among them Chelsea Hendrickson, whose aunt was killed 20 years ago.
Unfortunately, it is a common story across nations, across tribal communities, and within Native women's societies.
One issue that keeps coming up in these discussions is that there are gaps in the various databases used to track missing people.
The numbers and the names don't comport with the official records that are being kept by law enforcement.
All of these systems, whether voluntary or whether it's uploaded by a family member or law enforcement, they will never talk to each other at this point with technology the way it is.
State officials say most tribes in Washington don't have access to the National Crime Information Center, the FBI database that virtually every law enforcement agency uses to track cases. As a result, police searching that database often will not find important info about whether someone with ties to a tribe is reported as missing.
That's one huge thing, is that everybody has their own database.
This study started after the legislature passed a bill directing the State Patrol to look into these questions. A growing number of Native women, like Sovereign, spoke up and demanded action.
This affects us all. And so we're all trying to come together to bring resolution to help protect our people better.
Sovereign says she was trafficked by a gang in Oregon in the 90s and was only able to escape because friends rescued her. They did not involve police.
A lot of us feel hopeless that our voices will be heard.
She says that's changing now that others are raising their voices and state authorities are listening.
Having this feedback and having this dialogue is so very important.
Captain Alexander has a June deadline to report back to the legislature on what she's learned. Women like Claudia Lawrence, a member of the Hopi Nation, hope that will spur even more conversations about how to confront the crisis.
Yes, I think we're being heard. I think the concern is always, will there be next steps?
Many people in Native communities are not waiting for the state to take action. They've started Facebook pages with thousands of followers where they can post about missing and murdered people, seeking tips. As it stands right now, though, in Washington, there is no comprehensive data collection system for reporting or tracking missing Native American women. So that's something they say they should be working on.
But from the looks of it, I mean, there's some optimism there.
Yeah, they're hopeful, and a lot of tribes and people from Native communities have had a lot of reason to mistrust the police and state agencies historically. But I sense that that's starting to break, that they are starting to trust them and have conversations that they had not been having before. So that's a hopeful sign.
Yeah, certainly hopeful for families. Ted, thank you.